Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of our character selector. Last time we left off, we essentially went and made all of these different kind of classes to select your character, or you want specific AI characters, or whatever you desire. And with that, our next item today is to make our characters and make them appear here while having the add button and add them as well. And with that, we're going to go over, and then with all of this, what we kind of need to do is kind of save them. And what we need to do is essentially make a class or make a structure. In this case, we're going to make a structure. We're going to make a public struct character, and in it we're going to have a string for name, a string for its class, a string for its color, a string for its build, and a string for its style. And with that, we can definitely start making different characters. With that, we can then save out our predefined lists or characters that we've made into a specific thing. So now, when we set it all up, what we're going to do is we're going to do a character I'm not great with variables, so we're just going to do a char temp or caps lock, do a char character temp equals new character, and with that we're going to now and with that, we can now set that class up every time. So we're going to do a char temp dot. Oh, well, you know what I forgot? Because if you don't, in C#, if you don't specify public for every one of these, they will be default private, even though a structure is by default a public thing. Oh my god, I'm spelling public wrong. I just spelled it twice correctly the last time. And with that, now we can definitely public. See, we can do our name equals dot, or what would be a text box 1 dot text. Do a char temp dot class dot equals char. It would be a class combo box dot is selected text, and then we would do that for the rest of them as well. So char temp dot color equals class or color combo box dot selected text, char temp dot name, or not name, it would be a class color build would equal build combo box dot selected text, and we'll do a char temp dot style equals style combo box selected text. And with that, now that we have a entire class, or in this point it's a structure class, it will store all of it inside of it. So what we will be doing is then sending it to the list. And we're going to do it one way, and then afterwards we're going to do it a different way to kind of see the two different ways we can do it. So when the button is clicked, then we're going to do listbox1.items .add, and then we're going to do char temp. And with that, that's about it. So now that we can run, not window, run, we can type our name, TheBurgerStorm. Definitely want a tiger kitty. I'll be green, or I'll be a slim, and I'll definitely be a mage. And with that, I'll press the add button, and there we go, character selector. And with that, now that's there, but it's really, like I say, not flattering to see in the list box. And with that, we can definitely update that to make it much more nicer looking. And what we can do there is two different things. We're adding into the entire class, so what we can do is add it, and we can make a list up here, a list, have two lists. A list, oh, give me 1 second. We could do a list of characters. m_car equals new list characters. So we'll have two lists going, one that will show that's in the list, and then the one that will definitely go there. But I believe what we could do is do listbox1.items dot, if we did a loop of listbox items, right? Oops. Items dot count, and we did listbox items sub I. And it will come back out an item. So, but with that, I don't think that would work. So what we can do now is we could totally do rtemp and then do the dot name, and then secretly behind the scenes that nobody will know, that m_char dot add will hold our actual list. And in the background now, when we start it, if we do it again, fun, goblin, green, built, tank, now we have that, and that fun will there. So now what we could do is definitely switch it up and add, definitely. But now, when you want to click on it, they're all the same. So the next issue that we need to do is we need to, when we click on it, we need to go up to the character selector screen and show their names, which then is an absolutely easy idea. So with that, we're going to stop the program, and we're going to go to a list box selected index changed. And what that will do is it will, whatever we selected, it will fall into this function, and then we can definitely manipulate the properties. And with that, we are going to do an if listbox1 dot selected index, or selected item, well, we can only select it one at a time, so what we can do is listbox dot selected item dot, which would be well, we could definitely get the text of this, get selected text, get selected list box 1 dot selected index, and with that we can get our own and do a char or m_char dot find, and we can pass in, well, what we can do is what would be much better would be to do mchar find index, and what we can do we can do an index of and pass this in. Oh, I believe that it needs to be a character item. So instead of this, we'll go into the finds later. This would be too much. So it'd be m_char dot count, and we can bring back what we had. So if mchar dot or sub I dot name equals the get text name, then what we can do is start applying them back to the combo boxes. So what we would do is text box 1 dot name equals m_char dot name. Sub I dot name. We're gonna do class combo box dot select we're gonna do item dot get index of object value, which would be the name of the class, and with that we can then we'll have an integer that will return us the class index, and then what we can do is class combo box dot selected index equals class index, and with that we would do the same thing for the other three. So we're going to do an int color index equals color combo box dot items dot index of the char sub I dot class, and we'll do color. And yeah, it kind of gets tedious with a lot of them, but there's definitely build index equals build combo box dot items dot index of, and then we put in the same thing, but this time we put build. And then we do the same thing. We do color combo box dot selected index equals the color index, which then it will set the appropriate and correct index. We'll do build combo box dot selected index equals build index. And I think the last one is the style. So if we do int style color equals style combo box dot items dot index of, and we're gonna do dot style, and with that style combo box dot selected index equals style color. I don't know why I named it style color, to be honest. I just looked at it and said, why did I just do that? And with that, that should set everything. So if we ran the system, well, hold on. We don't want it to just completely keep going. So after that, we're just going to break it. We're going to break out of the loop, and it's not going to do anything else anymore. So let's go and make a random dude. Khajiit, he's yellow. His build is slim, and he's a tank, and we're going to add him. So now we're going to do a different dude. We're going to do a Khajiit, or well, not a Khajiit. We're going to do an orc or goblin. Chose goblin, a medium, and he's going to be a fighter. So now we do this. We can switch it. Oh, nothing appeared. So let's go and debug this. So let's select, and the selected index item, and the name is correct. So why is that not updating? So if we do hit F10, oh, this is entirely my fault. So what we can do is just do dot selected item dot toString, and I think that would solve our problems. So if we do another one and we switch it up, fighter, add, let's do another, let's do burger this time so we can see a big difference and change. He's an elf, he's green, very slim, and he's a stealth person. And let's add Poopy McPooperstorm. And he will be a oh, now let's make him a zombie. He's white, he's very built, and he's a mage. So with that, we can switch, and they all disappeared. Oh, and let's try it one more time. Let's see what's wrong, and we can definitely get this going. So definitely in programming, we can definitely always debug. It's always not a bad thing to do. So when we hit this one, it goes in, we go down, class index, -1, so it did not find it. Okay, so that's our problem. So what we have to do is we can items dot, it would be index of okay, we can, I don't see why that didn't work before. Char dot sub I dot class we're gonna be medium, blue, mage, and X. I'm gonna do a Y. Click Y, F10. Class index is still -1. And what was the class's name? Oh, okay, well then that is a problem there that I didn't even realize. It's when we add, that's why it's not working correctly. So when we add it, it's not saving it correctly. So let's see what's with that. Ooh. The selected text did not seem to want to work, even though selected value would be .toString would be very, I believe, much more appropriate for this. And with that, we can, let's try to take away these breakpoints, and let's see if this works. I have a good feeling it works. If it doesn't, then I'm a fat liar, and I really don't like being one of those. Let's add. Ooh. How about a selected item? So what we're going to do first is typically a programming thing is where we're going to just look at one. So we're going to do S, class, goblin, and these don't really matter. So selected item, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's going to be. So we're, instead of the selected value, we're going to do a selected item. So crap. And with that, that should solve our breaking issue, and then we can have a cool updated version. So if we do DD, we do goblin, we do yellow, we do slim, and we do mage, we add that, we do DDS, he's not a goblin anymore, he's an elf, he's built, he is white, and he's now a wizard. We can switch back and forth. And yeah, well, So each of them are different, and we can do that. So, oh, see, now I know what I did wrong. So it's not text box name because we're renaming itself. It's really the text box name.text. And simple mistakes like that happen all the time in programming, and don't freak out. I've been doing it for a long time, and it happens. Everybody makes mistakes. So we switch it again. Elf, blue, or we'll switch it to yellow. We'll switch it to built, and we'll switch it to a fighter. And this time, we'll switch. So there we go. Now every time we switch, it'll choose each different one correctly, so that if we want to modify them, we can remodify them. But for that, this part is ended. The next one will be about updating that specific character selector, so that if you wanted to go back in, change his name, change his class, etc., you can, and it'll update the list and update everything internally, so then you don't have to do it. And then with that, then the following after that, we could always then try to delete a person off the list. And if that's the case, if you don't want that person anymore, then we can delete it. And yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you staying with me this whole time. And if you could give me a like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what I could improve on and what I did right, would be great, so we could have a conversation to go back and forth to see what you can do to improve and what you could do to help somebody else. So thank you guys.